Sometimes I really try to prepare something for these intros, and it's just not gonna happen. I swear, I'm eventually gonna write something for you people. I was gonna do another stupid YouTube fucking rip off of some other famous YouTuber channel, but not happening this week, folks. This week, it's just us. It's perfectly misfit. It's actually just me, because somebody either forgot we were recording today or something came up. Shit happens. Dan's not around. Unfortunately, he might pop in later. You never know. But this week, I got a fill in. I had a feeling somebody might not show up. All right, no, I didn't. I had no idea. I even reminded him the other day we were recording a day early. I'm leaving town for a couple days tomorrow, so we're not on tomorrow. But I am honored and pleased to have this nothing but illustrious guest. And we always ask him, Dean, how are you now?
Good, and you?
Oh, not so bad. I feel
All
good.
right, then.
It felt good to be the other way around. I did steal a YouTuber's fucking intro.
Yep.
Suck it, internet. Dean is a good buddy. He hosts a hilariously in-depth podcast that chronicles every single episode of Letterkenny. And Dean has a little podcast called How Are You Now? The toughest podcast on Letterkenny. I think I might have been on it 45 times out of the 44 episodes.
Probably, yeah. Probably even more than that. Probably 80.
Yeah. It's there's probably only 80 episodes, and I've done 83. But love doing that show. Love this dude. His energy is always fucking on point, but also a realist. Dean does not bullshit. Dean does not take any bullshit. I mean, he might shoot some bullshit with you, but
I'll shoot the shit.
Yeah. Definitely not a bullshitter, and that's somebody we like around these here parts of Perfectly Misfit. For those of you who don't tune in every week, on this show, we have 3 basic topics we cover every week, but on occasion, we won't cover any of them. We like to just vent. We like to talk about what makes us different from everybody throughout the everything we've experienced throughout the week from last week's episode. But then the 3 main subjects we talk about are podcasts that we've heard, want to share, or maybe even shit on over the past week, TV shows or movies, and food, because who doesn't love a good plate of food? Yeah.
It was
pretty simple.
Taco Monday for me today.
Did you have, man? I've been on a talking to this girl on a dating app since this morning, and we have not stopped talking about fucking birria tacos.
Because I have not had birria tacos. I've seen all the fucking TikToks. And I'm like, put it in my mouth, please.
Yeah,
I am not going through I see all that shit you're doing. I'm not doing that. I'm way too fucking lazy.
The one thing this girl has said is that, yeah, she can point me in the direction of like some bomb ass birria tacos here in Denver, but she said that nothing's been better than the ones she made on her own. Let's see, we got a message from Lady McLaderson. Lady McLaderson will be in the next couple seconds, apparently. Allegedly.
That's what I appreciate about her.
Yeah. So Dan, let's get into like just current events, man, because I don't know where else I would talk about it, because I'd really it's hard to explain. And Dan has a very interesting perspective about it as well. We'll let him chime in when he comes in. But this whole thing of Russia and Ukraine, it's very interesting. And I forget, Dean is also a veteran. Shit, fuck, he's a perfect misfit for this podcast. So yeah, but Dean was also in probably about 10 years before I was. So it was a different generation of soldier, but war is war. What what emotions is this pulling out of you? You know what I mean? Like for me, it's mostly frustration just because, we've seen it.
Well,
We know what it's doing to, the potential, the future of this country, the potential, the future of the kids who are, just joined the military maybe a couple of months ago, didn't realize that might be going into World War III sometime soon.
yeah. When let me go back to when the second Iraq War started. Uh, when that happened, I actually I was very emotional about that because I was and it was because of guys like you. I'm like, these guys shouldn't have to go fight a war that we should have finished while we were there. So Hussein should have been taken out at that point in time, but he wasn't. I understand the reasoning for it, but it was not good reasoning in the
Oh,
end.
and for the people who might also forget, we're talking about that the first one was we had Desert Storm, and then
Right.
then like
91. Yep.
yeah, I was in fucking 91, which just blows my mind because I was deployed with a dude who already had a fucking star above his combat infantry badge.
Yeah.
And now he was getting a second star for going back to the same fucking country he fought in the
Yep.
goddamn 90s.
Yep.
It was literally like 10 years earlier.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what, and that's what I'm saying.
20 years earlier. 20.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I went over in 2009.
Yeah. Yeah. And that shit started when 03. So when we so it was I was extremely disappointed and frustrated and mad that we didn't finish shit when we were there. So in instances like this, I mean, we can play the sanctions all we want, which we've been doing with Russia for years, which kind of broke down the Soviet Union, but but it didn't break it. So I just to me it's just we need to do something concrete. Now, if that means we need to put troops, put drones, whatever that means that we're doing, I mean, because my feeling is what's going to happen is
this is your feelings towards Russia or towards
I stand with Iraq. I stand with Ukraine. So so Putin needs to be taken out. He should have been taken out a long time ago. I mean, it's obvious that he's had people killed who rivaled him. So dictatorships should not stand, whether they're here or anywhere else. So, however,
hold on, I'm sorry, Dean. But speaking of dicks, hey, what's up, Dan? What's going on? Hey,
what? For the first time, we start right at 9, and as I'm putting my kids to bed.
Hey, when we've got a guest, we got to be on time.
Oh, that's right. All right, my bad.
If you're not 15 minutes early, you're late.
Yeah, I tell that to kids who have to go to bed at 9. Tell them to go to bed at 8:45.
But Dad, so Dan, just to bring you in, we were we're all veterans here. Dean was a veteran. Dean. Dean is the host of Hawaiian L. I think you know that, or one of the co-hosts. Yeah. Excuse me, I should say. And no, but I just asked what emotions. Dean was in Desert Storm, and like, what emotions is this whole Russia thing bringing up out of him? And yeah, I'm with you, Dean. Ukraine needs all the love and support it can fucking get.
Yeah.
I saw like a great meme that was just so basic. That was just like, if Russia stops, Ukraine lives. If Ukraine stops, there is no more Ukraine. Or like something along those lines is like, oh shit.
I mean, for a guy who says, the worst thing in the world was the fall of the Soviet Union. Yeah, that's what he's trying. So, and I've Zelensky, I got nothing but admiration for him being on the ground with his troops. I don't know if he's, throwing rounds down range or not, but him being out with his troops tells me that he's a leader. He's not being a tyrant, like pushing people that don't even know why they're going into Ukraine. So yeah, it's ridiculous. And so I think at this point, my emotions are, as far as this is concerned, is just like, well, this may as well fucking happen, because it's it's lather, rinse, repeat. I mean, and if nothing is done about it, it's going to keep happening.
So did you know that, like, I remember the old boxers, the Klitschko? It's like
Vladimir Klitschko.
Yeah.
Yep.
His brother is on the fucking front lines.
I had heard something about that.
Yeah. I was listening to the Bonfire earlier, I think it was, or somebody. And like, yeah, they were talking about like there's some like crazy famous Ukrainians that are just like right there with the AKs lining up right on the front line, not giving a fuck.
Are you talking about the boxer guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my cousin married a Ukrainian guy. His name's Roman. He's the shit, and like he knows all about him. He's been posting nothing about him on Facebook lately. But did you guys see what the Ukrainian ambassador said to the UN? He pretty much told Putin to kill himself. He said if he wants to kill himself, he doesn't need to use a nuclear arsenal. He has to do what that guy in Berlin did in a bunker in May 1945.
Oh, nice.
Dude,
I didn't see that line.
Ruthless. They are fucking ruthless, dude.
I mean, it's like they've already been fucking suffering for God knows how long. It's like I feel like they're like the Puerto Rico of fucking Eastern Europe. You know, just people will just keep forgetting that's a place, and they're just like kind of just sit there until shit like this goes down. You know.
Well, he was also the one that told right to like straight looking at the Russian ambassador or whatever at the UN council and said, you know, war criminals don't go to purgatory; they go straight to hell. And just straight up savagery shit.
Yeah, I mean,
like you gotta have so much respect for these guys.
Not for nothing. I expect nothing less from the Ukrainians and Russians. They're always these dudes fucking, have bears in their front yards like on a Tuesday. So these are some savage motherfuckers.
So, but yeah, no, I agree with both you guys. This shit needs to stop. But I feel like the U.S. really shouldn't get involved as much as possible. I mean, if it's
unfortunate,
we have to, but
yeah, I feel like because of this whole shit with Trump and Russia and like all that other shit, it's kind of already just like laid the grounds for this is kind of our fault as well because we've been letting Russia be run amok for like the past 8-9 years.
Yeah, we just don't need that more unnecessary loss of life for everyone in general, like not just us, but like
so also for the few civilians who probably tolerate us, just so you guys know, there's like maybe 3 or 4 really large military installments that I know for a fact as a former soldier, I would never want us to fucking fight. And Russia is definitely one of them. Korea would be another. I feel like Japan would also be Japan and China would both be really, really tough fights.
Yeah.
I don't know.
China, I think, would suck the most.
Yeah. I mean, Japan just through the dedication, like they're like the way that the will of the Japanese people, like they're so headstrong. We'd be.
I mean, we only had to drop 2 nukes for them to stop the first time. So
fair enough, but I'm sure they've got a fucking trigger finger happy someone over there just waiting for us to give them a reason.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think as far as tough fights, now granted, it's about scale in that case, I think would be the Israelis. If we but I mean, they're
feisty motherfuckers.
Yeah. So
I feel like we're just a little too cool with the Israelis for them to ever be a problem.
Yeah. No.
I don't know why.
I don't know. We pay them billions of dollars a year.
I don't know why.
I mean, once we if we ever get around to recognizing Palestine as a state, then that might change. But
well,
I mean,
we definitely need to do that.
Actually. We definitely have.
Well, that's the other near situation I think was that was it China and Thailand or something like that?
Taiwan.
Yeah, right. Like
Taiwan,
yeah.
Again, these are just people who are just like, yeah, we know America's watching over everything we do, but this little tiny country really shouldn't be a country in our opinion. It's like, whoa. Come on. Be cool, guys. Be cool.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly who. I know I reposted it, but the saying was Ukraine today, Taiwan tomorrow. So, and I agree with that. Like, we need to do something. Like I said, that we're sending javelins and stingers and all this shit over there to them, which is what we need to have.
These are rockets, folks, by the way. Guided missiles.
But even without our shit, I mean, they've shot down how many fucking aircraft now? Like, it's a ridiculous amount.
Who, Ukraine?
Russia went in there.
Oh, yeah.
And all their tanks and shit are running out of fucking gas.
Yeah, I'm watching that. Like, literally, like, they're having, like,
that.
Yeah, I've seen videos of, like, you know, fucking Russian tanks just being like, and like Ukrainians walking up, be like, would you guys break down? Like, we're out of diesel.
I've seen it on TikTok where, like, some guy, like, some Ukrainian walks up to him, hey, do you need a tow back to Russia, motherfucker? Like, you know, like,
my favorite one so far is the old woman who went up to the soldier who's all, you know, all of his, he's got his rifle, all his stuff on, and she's like, you need to get out of my fucking country, or you can put these seeds in your pocket and sunflowers will grow where you die.
Yeah. I also like the other one.
And he said I guess a farmer stole a tank.
Yes, I saw that too.
That's great.
I also really like the ones that like show like more of the compassion in ways too, like where they're like the Russian soldiers have been like, you know, there's one where like a tank has been out of fuel for like 3 or 4 days now, and some Ukrainian people brought the soldiers like food and water and shit. Like, that was cool. But like at the same time, it's more fun to say, hey, yeah, they went up to and pissed down the barrel and said, how about that, motherfucker? You know, like,
where's your God? Where's your Putin God now?
Yeah, this is I like the humanitarianism of everything.
I love the story about the one fighter jet that they have that's like taking out all of Russia's fucking fighter
jets. 6 or 7 MiGs down.
Yeah,
like, it's one guy.
It's one guy. He's just up there top gunning it.
He's my friend, new Red Baron, dude.
It's Wayne just came from the Ukrainian the Ukrainian center in Letterkenny, and
he's like,
he needed a different kind of scrap.
You can be my wingman anytime. I don't know. We don't really do current events on the show, like, unless it's like
we don't
really
talk
big.
Politics at all.
Yeah, we don't fucking do that shit on here.
This is something you kind of have to.
Yeah, you know, and especially who better to talk about it than like 3 or I guess 2 generations of fucking veterans right here, basically. You know.
Do you want to know my favorite story so far that has come out about all this shit and
No, I don't.
Bro,
no. Let's move on.
Vladimir Putin's black belt has been revoked by the International Taekwondo Organization. Bro. They're like, fuck you. That much? All right, you want a sanction from us? Just some random Taekwondo organization? No more black belt, bitch.
I will say though that like the funny thing they mentioned, one of the many funny things they mentioned on the bonfire today was that like this whole thing seems like it should be settled in a boxing ring, a la Rocky.
Right, dude.
But if they put the fucking president of Kiev or Ukraine against Putin, I'm pretty sure Putin's gonna whip that ass.
Putin's a little dude.
But Putin fucking fights, so he's been known.
Oh, dude, he's like an MMA motherfucker. Dude.
Yeah, he's got that old man Russian strong, where like he'd like be your boss on like a roofing company, and then see you slacking, and then take off his blazer, and then show you how it's done, even with the suit, the dress shirt on. Yeah, like, and then put the suit jacket back on without a single drop of tar on him anywhere. Yeah, and you're like sweating like a fucking 4-year-old in Michael Jackson's bedroom.
I'm not a big fan of like Elon Musk at all either, by the way. Like I think he's kind of a pompous asshole. Agreed. But he did give Ukraine truckloads of Starlink terminals for free, and all the Starlink, it's internet. It's like almost a gigabyte per second internet satellites, the low flying satellites that have been launched.
So like little like Wi-Fi thingies, basically.
Yep. Yeah. So
I didn't know about that.
Just
pretty cool.
Truckloads over there and giving any of them and everyone free service with it. So that's cool. But
Yeah, so that way, if their fucking local satellites are fucking,
right, and they
antennas
are.
get knocked down.
Anonymous has been hacking all the sites and
Yep.
shit.
That hacker group, Anonymous.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of them since fucking Wall Street thing.
Right. I know they haven't really done much, but
Nice.
they came through and put up that Vladimir Putin gay flag with a makeup and like clown mask, basically.
He hated
on
that.
Russia's international, like their actual like website and shit for a while.
Yes.
They took down every major Russian website completely. So
What you got,
they just
Dean?
keep going at it.
Did you hear about Pornhub?
No. Oh, Pornhub took all the Russian videos off.
And blocked all Russian connections.
Twitch did the same. Took all Russian gamers and streamers. Took them all off.
So on that note, let's bring up our sponsor, NordVPN. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to, God, dude. Then I'm sitting here like, oh, what the hell is that VPN service that we always hear? Like,
there's a whole bunch, but Nord was the one that came to mind for some reason.
Yeah.
That's a great segue, Dan. Bringing up this week's sponsor, NordVPN. That's it. NordVPN / Perfectly Misfit will get you no % off your monthly subscription.
And they're going to be like, who the fuck are Perfectly Misfit?
Who the fuck are these assholes?
I wonder if you just type in random names in there if you still get the
Probably, right?
Probably to get free shipping and shit.
Like type in random / banana, mango. I don't know.
Well, and while we're talking about banned stuff too, Twitter banned every Russian and Twitter account as well. So that's pretty crazy.
I love it.
I like it when they banned the Russian one. What was that? It was Donald Trump. So
the most famous Russian, right?
Pornhub, out of all the things to get banned from, is the worst. I'm just.
I mean, I have always had a love for Pornhub.
Pornhub,
and I just mean it like they've always done cool shit like that. Like I remember at one point for like Earth Day, they planted a tree for every fucking spank that went out,
right?
Like for every video watched or some shit like
during
that.
During the lockdown, they gave free premium Pornhub to everyone in the world.
Yeah. I mean,
so
talk about for the people, by the people,
Right. There's no better
with the people.
Pornhub should run this country.
Oh my. Busted out my George Takei for that one. Oh my. Oh, Choopy's checking in. What's up, fellas? Hope all is well. Hope you're doing good, Choops, bro. Got to have you back on the show soon. We'll talk about that for sure. Check out, I believe it's the Sergeant Dino's podcast, something along those lines. Great fucking dude. Choopy we grew up together, and we both joined the military separately and went our different ways. Chose our different paths. Choopy's a good fucking dude.
Last thing I'll mention about this Russian thing, the NHL is talking about banning all Russian players right now too.
No way.
Yeah, dude, for real. I'm not kidding.
Way. I don't even think they could do that.
I can send you the link.
I don't think they could legally do that.
I think they legally can do that. It's not controlled by the government.
But it's still but it's a business. That's prejudice, dude.
I mean, they could say. I mean, depending upon how contracts are written, somebody could be fired for cause.
Dude, like Poland won't play Russia in FIFA anymore, and like all these countries are refusing to play Russia in soccer, in their international leagues and shit. I know who would play all the Swiss and Canadians. We'd literally go down to like 2 teams.
Yeah, Swiss and Canada are literally 95% of the NHL.
Yeah.
And actually 97% of the NHL worth watching.
Right. Well, the only Russian right now that's super good is still Ovechkin.
Yeah. Oh, matter of fact, yes, ban all Russians. I take it back.
Yeah, fuck that
guy. Fucking ban all Russians. Yes, that man has been my mortal enemy since I was like a teenager. Fuck Ovi.
Him is Crosby's Canadian, but fuck that guy too.
That's hilarious. I didn't even think about Ovi. Fucking asshole. God.
Oh yeah, he's the only noteworthy Russian playing currently.
And folks, just so you know, I only hate him because he's so good and always like whatever team he's been on, he's always spanked my Rangers.
He's been on the Capitals the whole time.
No way.
Yeah.
Ovi has not been on the Caps this his whole fucking
Yeah, he's
career.
been
Has
on the
he?
Washington Capitals the whole time. His whole
Okay.
career.
Still hate him.
Yeah, I hate him too. He's
Yeah, okay,
fucking
whatever
great.
team he's on. I don't want to know, okay? I know what team he's on. I have video because like the one time I was in the penalty box at a Rangers game, he was warming up right in front of there. Like, so I took video of him like trying to demean him and like because he's doing all these stretches. I'm like, where is your God now? But I said it really low so he couldn't hear me.
Riley and Jonesy
He's a
chirping at him.
sword.
Dude, that dude. Again, I'm gonna talk shit, but that's a big scary motherfucker. Fuck, I had something else I was gonna transition into, but fuck it, who gives a
It's
shit?
like as a kid, you know, when we went to WWF at the time, they'd come to town and shit, and Yokozuna would come out, and I'd be like, "You're really a nice guy, probably.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you're so much bigger in person.
You're so fat," or whatever, you know, like whatever you want to say. But then they kind of look around. You're like, "Hi, you might be looking at me, and
Yeah.
I can't tell, even though I'm in the nosebleed section."
Well, wasn't there's like famous like stories of fucking ECW people getting too rowdy in the crowd and like motherfuckers
yeah.
in ECW just being like, "Oh, word, motherfucker, my mom's a bitch," and then just
Yeah.
jumping in the crowd and just fucking up an audience
New
member.
Jack, there's tons of stories about New Jack fucking up people in the crowd.
I want to say it was New Jack, but was there's like
Boys.
the Dudley Boys? That's the one that I always heard was like I know it's
Yeah.
two brothers that always they were just like,
They're not
Oh,
real
you're not-
brothers. The one's a black dudes. They can't be
Hey,
real
man.
brothers.
"Hey man,
But
I don't like that mentality."
They're
Well,
half brothers.
oh, shut up, dude. Anyway, fucking,
They're brothers from other mothers. What? Come
Sabu,
on, science.
Sabu used to fucking go after people in the crowd.
I
all
mean,
the
and
time.
Yokozuna wasn't Japanese, so what?
Yeah, he was Hawaiian,
Yeah,
Samoan.
he's Samoan.
He
as
looked
fuck.
Japanese though. He looked like a normal sumo wrestler, and I was young enough and dumb enough, didn't know.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't know he wasn't Japanese until, I'm not gonna lie, probably my 30s.
I didn't know it up until like when I was doing that stupid wrestling show a couple years ago. that
Yeah.
we
I
don't
think
wanna
that's what I
talk about.
found out too.
Probably on my podcast.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Beyond Bushido. So we're not petty on the show at all. Oh, by the way, news from the old bar that I worked at, since we're being a little petty right now. One of my old coworkers, who was my very good friend and turned into a complete dickhead, decided to serve an undercover minor last week. Isn't that awesome?
Undercover miners.
Yes.
Ooh.
And yeah, that's fucking great. But that's what it was. Fucking NHL. That's what it was. Speaking of NHL, you boy, we are doing today's episode a day early because I am taking a flight out to the best coast, as they like to call themselves. Heading out to Seattle tomorrow, and on Wednesday I will be seeing the Seattle Kraken.
The Kraken.
Release the Kraken. Really looking forward to that. I've only been to one NHL game. There it is. Nice. Oh, someone's a fan.
I even have my Shorzy jersey hanging up.
Nice. Wait, you have a Kraken Shorzy jersey?
Hey, see if I-
Nice.
see if I can-
Yes. And Tiara made an appearance on the podcast. Yes.
Is she back there? No, she's not there. That's just her chair.
No, I saw there's a picture of her on the wall.
that picture. Yeah.
You literally just showed a picture of her. Yay. I can say she did my show.
And you got Felicia Day here.
I was bragging.
Bragging camp.
Hey, I run bragging camp, baby.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was hoping to link up with Dean and Tiara after having doing podcasts with them for almost 2 fucking years, but the distance is too great. The timing is wrong. It's all good. I will be back because flights are dirt cheap. I'm talking about like New York to Miami dirt cheap. Those things were like $99 back in the day. This shit ran me $128 round
Wow.
fucking trip. Hell yeah. I assume it's going to be a bunch of Inuits because it's Alaska Air. But, I mean, whatever. I'm sure I'll have some nice fucking seal blubber. I'm down. I'm down.
Alaska Air has been the only one that I've kind of given any props to so far because they've been keeping up their their hygiene on the planes and everything. So
Really?
yeah,
Oh, good to know. I feel good about this then.
yeah,
'Cause I've never had a reason to fly them before in my life.
yeah. They're almost all just specifically out off the West Coast specifically.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
kinda
wondering
up
if when I
area.
went to Vancouver, if that was what I connected to. I don't remember though. I think it was American.
Well, and Alaska, I think, is part of American.
Wouldn't be surprised. And I just hope mine. Like last time I was in SeaTac,
Mhm.
this is great. The plane I landed on was supposed to be cleaned out and then reboarded to transfer up to Vancouver.
Hmm.
But apparently it didn't pass inspection for takeoff in Seattle, but was okay from New York to Seattle, which is very
Fucking
interesting.
let it go, Lenny.
So wait a minute. What happened between New York and Seattle that they might have missed in New York? You know, it's like, hey, we got fucking 215. That's 216. Get it out of here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Alaska 361. Get out of here.
I got the line guy all on my ass, and I'm ready to get the fuck home.
This fucking union ain't fucking paying me enough benefits for this shit. Get out of here, Alaska 2371. Let's go. Yeah, that really fucking freaked me out. I'm like, what the fuck did they miss in New York?
I think my scariest flight was actually when I was leaving boot camp to go to my permanent duty station. So I did boot camp in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and permanent duty station was Fort Riley,
sorry.
Kansas.
First, let me be on behalf of the Army. I apologize for that. I hear horrible things about Fort Sill.
It was just boot camp. I mean, it was all just shooting artillery rounds. So, but anyway, so yeah, we get out and we were flying from Lawton, Oklahoma, to St. Louis, and then from St. Louis to Manhattan, Kansas, because there's no airport in Junction City. So it was a little 2-prop airplane to go from I'm sorry, not St. Louis, Kansas City to Manhattan, Kansas. And so there's a group of us that, I don't know, there's probably 14 people that's on this plane. That's all that would fit, really. And so I'm sitting there like this, and we're like halfway through the flight, and this engine over here catches on fire.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm like, dude, I just went through fucking boot camp. This is not right. I am not dying today. I mean, I went through all that shit for however many weeks that was. I don't even remember anymore. 16, I think, maybe. I'm like, and now I'm gonna die. So, fortunately, they were able to. They put the fire out. They landed. Everything was fine. And all right.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Like, yeah, right there, buddy.
Dabs or dabs. I actually have a on my way to boot camp fire story.
Oh yeah.
How are you now?
Good news.
Not so bad. On my way to boot camp, picked up my ex-girlfriend, and she was gonna hop in the car with me and my mom, who's driving me over to MEPS in Brooklyn. Excuse me. And we're about to go onto an on-ramp to get on the highway, and there's an overpass, a metal, like a train bridge overpass that's like curved. So we're going this way, and then the off-ramp is coming this way. And a gasoline truck proceeds to take that turn so fast that it starts to tip over, and the top starts scraping against the metal bridge. And as it's falling down, it catches on fire because it's filled with fucking gasoline. And me and my mom are on the opposite side. She's like, what do I do? I'm like, Mom, fucking go. Just go, just go, just go. And I mean, and it was so intense. Literally, we can feel the heat in the car as we drove by the fucking fireball. Was the funny part. I remember being in the hotel that night and not seeing shit about it in the news. Are you fucking kidding me? And that ruined, like, there was like car dealerships over there. That shit fucked up a bunch of like millions of dollars worth of property.
Wow.
I'll just never forget. Like, oh yeah, I almost died on the way to basic.
Nice.
Well, better than after you've gone through hell. So
Yeah. I almost took it as a sign from God. Like, maybe I shouldn't go.
So I know you are super affiliated with the Letterkenny podcast world and stuff, but are you guys affiliated with the Letterkenny Reddit at all, subreddit at all?
I'm one of the mods.
Dean is one of the moderators for it.
Okay. I've been subscribed to it since like I don't know, a couple months ago when I found Renee's been pestering me about Letterkenny for like 2 years.
We've been doing the show for over a year, and he had just started watching it like a couple
So
months
I
ago.
just finished it. It took me. I love the first 2 episodes. The third episode, the fart book episode was literally probably one of my favorites.
It's a make or break episode is what we call
there's
it.
a couple episodes here and there that are like, whatever. You just kind of power through. They still got really good jokes, but they're not as hitting as most of the other ones. With this fucking Shorzy spinoff show, is it going to be? It's going to be canon, right? That you know.
Oh yeah.
Of?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man,
yeah. Because Kiso has created it. A guy who plays Wayne. He created Letterkenny. He's got every part of Letterkenny. He's got his fingers in producing, directing, writing, picking the music, everything. He's got his fingers. And so, and as well as with Shorzy, I don't know if Jacob Tierney, who's the guy that plays Glenn, they brought him initially to direct and help write because he's got a lot of experience. I mean, he's been acting since he was a kid.
Yeah.
Kanye Teo Horn, who plays Tanis, I don't know how far you are through it, but Tanis,
I just finished it.
Tanis is one of my favorite characters.
I love Tanis. Yeah, she's awesome. But she is, I think, part of the production crew with Shorzy. So
I love that. Pitter patter. I love that. Like the running gag is you really never see Shorzy's face at all. Like
now we're gonna get to see it, and he's missing a tooth. Like I wonder if they're gonna like keep that like the whole thing where like they all have a missing tooth for the entire show series. What I mean,
what's funny is
give your balls a tug.
What's funny is Kiso, he started his career trying to be a hockey player, professional hockey player, and he plays. Yeah. And acting was his fallback career. So from there, so now he's created Shorzy where he's getting paid to play hockey. So he is now essentially a professional hockey player.
You can really tell that he was more of a hockey player first because of his like extreme lack of social media presence. Everybody else pretty much on that fucking show has somewhat of a presence on like Twitter or Instagram.
Agreed. Yeah.
Jared Kiso's nowhere. Where is he? Nowhere. Like
I'm kind of hoping that we see Riley and Jonesy and Shorzy. I hope somehow like they fucking play with him.
So because here's one thing that I heard that I thought sounded really smart. Because in Letterkenny you only ever saw the back of Shorzy's head.
Right.
And Shorzy's always sleeping with Riley and Jones's moms. Riley and Jonesy should play Riley and Jones's moms, and you only see the back of their heads.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Oh, I love that so much, dude.
I don't know God. I got to give credit to whoever came up with it. I think it was on the subreddit.
A la Monty Python. Really just, especially just like have them in like old lady sundresses or mooners and shit like that.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Or do you think Riley and Josie's mom? Do you think Riley and Josie's moms would be hot?
Oh, I would for sure think they would be because they're both kind of good-looking dudes,
Yeah.
I would think they would have to have, like, unless I bet their dads are like fucking burly, fucking disgusting fat old men, and their moms are.
Funny,
like,
you never really think about that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, Dylan Playfair, who plays Riley, his dad was an NHL player.
Okay.
And is now a coach.
Played hockey for a while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he did.
And Dylan played.
He plays senior A.
No, but like in a movie, he played some famous
uh,
a Canadian legend. I'm not even going to try and remember. It doesn't matter.
yeah, I don't remember
My
him,
fucking dog. Jesus Christ, dude.
I know,
115 pounds. Ow.
I know that Kiso played Don Cherry.
Don Cherry. That's I was
but
thinking
that was,
Kiso.
but that was Kiso, and
Okay.
Tyler Johnston played young Don Cherry.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
So,
I'm mixing up
Kiso,
Canadians.
Kiso and Johnston are like 10 years apart. So
Makes sense. Makes sense. That's what I was thinking. I'm an idiot.
Well, I'm really looking forward to Shorzy. That dude's voice kills me every time. I think that's part of the funniest part.
So yeah, now I'm also kind of wondering what Wayne's fit, because like most people who like do voices, like I do voices on occasion, but like I distort my face when I do voices. Like you try and almost become a different person. So to be able to see Kiso do the voice, I'm gonna have a hard time keeping a straight face on that. It's gonna be a lot of rewinding.
And when you see Kiso in real life talking, his eyes are open, and Wayne is always like this. So it'll be weird to see him with open eyes. I mean, and being Shorzy.
Yeah.
So and it's we started watching this show, Monster Warriors. That Kiso was in.
You know what? On that breath, also, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but like, yeah, why don't we just get into like TV shows and movies we've watched over the past week?
Sure.
As an easy segue. That seems like what you're about. What were you saying you're watching lately?
It's actually an old show that Kiso was on. I think probably when he was 20. It's from back in I think it was 2007. He's very young, and it's called Monster Warriors. And so there's these monsters that are coming through to Earth, and they're having to fight them. It's just really
the Canadian TV show. I'm guessing
Canadian TV show.
Obviously.
Horrible CGI. I mean, it was like made for maybe tweens. I'm guessing. Because it's like these kids all meet up all of the very same episode, and like within 5 minutes of each other become best friends and start fighting monsters immediately.
Nice.
Like you do. So yeah, we're talking about having potentially a brief side podcast about Monster Warriors just because Kiso's in it. But yeah. As far as other things that I've watched, Reacher. If you haven't seen Reacher on Prime, go fucking watch it.
I haven't yet. I'm planning on it because
Same
it's
here.
Hawk from the DC show Titans.
Yeah, and Thad from Blue Mountain State.
Okay.
So yeah, the guy who played Alan Rich, I can't remember, Richson. Now I'm forgetting it. Anyway, the character Jack Reacher, who Tom Cruise has played in 2 movies now. Tom Cruise is 5'5".
Yeah.
and a half.
Yeah.
On a good day.
Jack Reacher, the character,
Is supposed to be like 6'3".
6'5", 250. He is
the guy who plays Hawk is he's better for it by far.
Exactly.
That's what I've heard.
So and it's a great story. I mean, we're on the reading the books right now. I think we're on the 5th book. So really good stories. So the guy is, that's his thing. He was an MP in the Army for 13 years, and he was an MP at Special Forces stations. So he not only had to be a police officer, but he had to be able to handle guys who were trained like Special Forces are. So he is very smart, very well trained.
And for the layman's MP is military police. So basically, your job is to stop drunken soldiers from doing stupid shit on base 95% of the time, and then also handle other serious crimes. But
it's the series, which I think was 8 episodes long, 8 or 10, covered the first book. And it was brilliant. I mean, because they had to add stuff to it because in the book itself, it's all told from Reacher's point of view. It's first person.
Right.
They had to, because there's other characters who are heavily involved in the show. They had to give their insight as well. So there's a lot more to it than you actually end up reading in the book. So and Lee Child, who wrote the books, actually has a little cameo at the very end of the first at the end of the season. So
awesome.
And Lee Child himself is 6'5".
I'm looking
I'm
forward to
definitely
it.
planning on checking that out. I heard it was definitely not a show that you can watch around kids. So,
Yeah, I mean, well, it's. I mean, there's.
I also fucked up and let my kid watch Peacemaker with me. One of
I
my
haven't
kids.
seen that one yet.
Ooh, we covered that last week.
Yeah,
really
that's a good one.
It's-
Check that out.
it's-
It's funny as fuck.
Like Dean, I'm gonna tell you something. Just as somebody who's known you for a little while now, it's a little corny, and
I
It's a
there's-
lot corny.
okay, it's extremely fucking corny. And like, if you're like me, I'm not a huge fan of John Cena, but
Yeah, not. But I'm not. I'm not a fan. I mean, he seems like an okay guy, but he's not. He's not.
yeah, I just mean
He's
like,
not. He's not a draw for me.
yeah, just like as an actor in general is what all I'm really saying.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you power through like 2 or 3 episodes, you kind of start to realize why he's perfect for that role. Like, I don't know if anybody else could have played that role. The only thing that really made me sad was like that was the one character that they gave a spinoff from Suicide Squad. I would have loved to see like, was it Deadshot? Was it Will Smith's character?
Yeah, Deadshot.
Yeah.
Like I would have
I would
loved to
love
see,
to see
that.
that.
That getting its own show. Oh my fucking god! And even if they had, I'm sorry, they had to pay fucking Will Smith, $40 million to do it. I think it would be so fucking worth it. But give Peacemaker a fucking watch, and especially just do yourself the favor of soaking in the intro. There's
The
the
intro
intro
is
sequence.
probably the best part of the show.
I
I've
will
watched every episode. I watch the intro all the way through every time. It's that amazing.
I will say that of between the TV shows and the movies, Marvel has them. That's hands down. The TV shows, DC.
killing it. Yeah.
DC's killing it.
Titans
Whether
is the shit.
whether
Like, that
it's-
is
yeah.
the best show they have.
well, I mean, have you watched Doom Patrol?
Yeah. Oh, I love
Doom Patrol's great.
It
I mean,
is.
and
Brendan
it's-
Fraser's amazing.
I
I
haven't-
really thought Brendan Fraser
I haven't watched
died
it, but I hear
a
I
long
always hear
time
good
ago.
things. I watched like one episode.
Oh,
it's
great.
really good. It's really, really good. So, and yeah, even the ones that are on the CW I haven't watched any in a while, but when I was watching them, they were great.
I watched The Flash and Arrow for a while, and then
Mm-hmm.
Legends for a minute, and then it just became too much. And
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Oh yeah, that's right. I watched Green Arrow for a little while and
Green
Flash.
Arrow was
Supergirl.
so fucking good. Supergirl sucked right from the beginning.
Did not.
I
I
It
didn't even
never
start.
got any good.
I really enjoyed it.
I didn't even start
even
it.
when because it started off on NBC.
I thought it started on CBS.
I thought no, because NBC and CW are part of the same.
Okay, they started the
Intertwining.
network, Time
Yeah.
Warner Network.
Yeah. So, but yeah, then because that at that point when they moved to the CW, then the gal I can't remember her name played Ally McBeal had to leave because then they couldn't afford her anymore.
They wouldn't have paid her. Yeah.
So, but I enjoyed and Legends because I think I loved mostly because Constantine was on there a good bit. John
In
Constantine.
the
probably
later seasons, like the first 2 or 3 seasons, he wasn't in.
right.
And I stopped watching just before he came in.
Wait,
Which I wish
Constantine
I
is
should go
DC.
back.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
thought it was
Constantine-
Image.
Dude, the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie, everybody can shit on it all they want. I
If-
fucking love that
it-
movie.
It's a great movie. It is not John Constantine. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. There's some. If you want to say he's the American John Constantine,
Yeah.
that's fine. But yeah, because he is not his personality is not John Constantine at all. I mean, the guy Matt Ryan who plays him,
Yeah.
perfect. I mean, you couldn't have found a better guy to play him. He
I
is
feel
perfect.
bad now. Keanu is my only Constantine. I know no other.
Yeah, Matt Ryan, because they tried a TV show also on NBC.
Right.
Started off, but they kept the same guy when they went over to CW with Legends, and I think he's been on a couple of other ones. But yeah, he's really, really good. And also the other DC show that's excellent that just finished was Lucifer.
Yeah, Lucifer is great. It finished on Netflix.
Mhm.
Lucifer, the one
show that
where
was
it's
on Fox, and then
where it's like the club owner helping who's the
Devil
Lucifer.
becomes
You guys,
like a
that's DC.
yeah.
That's part of the Sandman series,
Yeah.
What the fuck?
which was
Which,
written by Neil
speaking
Gaiman.
of-
I actually I've watched a couple of those episodes. I like it.
Yeah.
That was like me and Blacklist. I got like hooked on
Oh.
that shit for a while.
I like Blacklist for probably the first 4 seasons, and then it just kind of got redundant.
Touche.
I haven't. I've
My
never
mother-in-law
watched
still
it.
watches it. I didn't even know it was still going.
Yeah, I think they did just
Sandman
bring it
came
back.
out with a Audible book that you can listen to. It's like covers like the first 3 graphic novels.
Of what?
Of Sandman.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking amazing. I have it. I'll throw
You're listening to
it at you.
audiobooks? Oh, my man,
Yeah,
Bill
yeah.
out here getting smart at shit.
Sometimes only certain ones though. Like, there's a Wolverine series that I've been listening to as well. So
Fair enough. My
Batman, there's a
my last
Batman
book
one
I
that's
read
really
was the
good.
Howard Stern book on his favorite interviews. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big ass book though. What about movies, guys? I watched a movie that I've been meaning to watch for a while, especially because one of our buddies is in it. But I never watched all of The Sopranos. So I felt weird trying to watch The Many Saints of New Jersey. But my buddy Joey Diaz is in the movie. And I felt if anything, I had to fucking watch it just to see my boy, fucking support him by giving him that one extra, my little click on my Xbox. And it was okay. It was a reach in an attempt at a prequel, I guess, basically trying to tell the story of how Tony got his fucking roots. But god damn, the story was just like
long and drawn out and didn't make complete sense.
Yeah, just dumb. Like, and I'm not giving a shit right now. I'm fucking spoiler alert. Like, the movie ends with Tony's dad getting killed by Uncle June because he laughed at him too hard when he fell down some stairs.
Ugh.
And that's like the end of the movie is Tony reaching into the coffin to grab his hand, and like that's the sign, like, oh, this is the day that he became the Tony fucking the guy, the Tony. And I was like, and like his dad's got the pinky ring, he's grabbing the finger with the pinky ring. I'm like, no, just like it was one of those times where I think everybody here as veterans understands that those days where you wake up randomly at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, you can't go back to sleep. Dan's alarm is at 6, so never mind about you. But like, and like you're just like you want to go back to sleep, so you don't just put on a fucking movie. This was something I put on hoping to be bored enough to fucking fall back asleep to. But good old best friend insomnia not letting me go back to sleep. So I fucking watched that whole movie. God damn it. It was
very few speaking parts, and his character in general was the best part about the whole thing. And that's that may not I mean, that's probably just me being such a Joey Diaz fan. But like the way everything happens and what happens to his character.
Yeah, like I'll even say the part where Joey's line where they gets him punched in the face is he says he'd eat someone's sister's shit or someone's wife. No, his wife's shit.
Someone's wife's shit just to get a look at her.
Like, oh, where is this? Where is she? I'd eat her shit.
It's Tony Soprano's dad's
wife
or girlfriend.
Yeah, Guma. Oh, that's right. It was the Guma.
That's like a Gail saying I jerk off her dad just to see where she came from.
Right.
But like, yeah, man, like that movie, like then like they hired all these young actors to play the young version of all the other fucking the older Soprano members, and it was just like, I don't know, I felt like they tried just a little too hard, the way they made Tony's grandma, who was like Tony's mom in the Sopranos, like how she's like a whiny, like, oh, why don't you guys just kill me? Like she just had that like over the head attitude, and like they nuanced Tony's therapist with his guidance counselor in high school. Like she
Yeah.
had the same. She's like, so your mother, and like she just like was doing all like everybody was. They had the dude. They even had the guy who looked like Van Zant, the guy who the most Guido guy out of all of them. They had like he even did the walk. He was kind of walked all funny and shit.
I don't know, Tony.
Yeah, it was great, but they were just it was so forced. I wish they would have maybe hired. See, they don't like him either. Exactly. Critics are everywhere. I'm telling you. If I felt like if they would have hired a better director, someone who was taking it a little more serious, maybe even try to like make it a little spin off, a little maybe not so canon. It could have been a lot
That couldn't
better.
have been a better timing for Miles.
Miles is like, yeah, fuck that shit. Change the subject already.
They're playing and Miles gets mouthy. But
He's doing
it's
this
like a
every
reoccurring. Like I just got him like a month ago. Not even. He's a
episode.
rescue
And
dog.
at just about the 55-minute mark in every episode since you got him, he's got to
It's like
pipe up.
55-minute mark. The first episode I got him, he took a big ass shit in the kitchen, like right in front of me. As I'm like,
I was at the 45 mark. I remember that one.
we had to leave. Oh god, it was fucking horrible. But no, he's great. I love him. He's a great dog in
All
general.
right. Any other movies you guys have seen? Anything?
Dude, I watched Eternals today.
I can't get through that shit. We've talked about this. I think.
My boss said that that's 2 hours and 47 minutes. She'll never get back.
That's the one with
Exactly.
fucking. That's with Aquafina, right?
No, that's Shang-Chi.
Oh, that's another
The
one.
this one is
Angelina
fucking
Jolie.
the Stark Kid and
This one is the one with Kumail
the
Nanjiani,
bastard,
right?
Yeah.
Jon Snow.
Where he got all fucking Jack Diesel
got
on
Jack.
the cover of
Yeah.
GQ.
And Angel, dude, it was fucking horrible. It wasn't fun or entertaining really at all. It was boring as shit.
Guess what? I tried to watch it as well. I remember where it was like the beginning is like a 20-minute explanation of what. Oh, and then
What
the
they
Eternals were blah 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 blah. It was like if Marvel wrote for NPR, like it's like, and then on this next episode we'll be discussing the recipe on how to make an Eternal.
It's super hard to discover is the Eternals the worst Marvel movie, or is the first Doctor Strange the worst Marvel movie? Like, right, for me, they're pretty
I
much
like
fucking
the first
tied.
Doctor Strange.
First Doctor Strange was fucking horrible.
First Hulk was the worst.
No,
Yeah.
I'd rather watch the first Hulk.
See, Dean and I are on the same page. That first Hulk was.
I mean,
no, hold on. If we're really gonna do it, fucking Silver Surfer was the worst, right?
I mean, if
the
we're really
Fantastic
going to
Four.
do it, the Fantastic Four movie that never
Right.
came out in the 80s. Or, I don't know, the 92 Captain America movie.
Oh, all right, you win. We're not. That's
But no, it was fucking horrible.
that was like who's most hick off, right? Was that the one with like a with Katie and
the biggest hick house? Yeah.
biggest hick house? Yeah.
So it was bad.
Eternals was terrible. Yeah, I turned it off. I don't think I stuck through that one. Ugh.
What about
Like
you,
a-
Dean?
Yeah, last movie. Well, actually, we just binged watched all of the Jason Bourne movies. Actually,
Woo, those
I
are
was
fun.
I was a fan of the books, the Robert Ludlum books. So I was a little, and when you invariably when you read something,
Don't tell me you got a
really
problem with my boy Matt Damon.
no, I have no problem. Matt Damon. I have no
Matt
problem with Matt Damon. But it was just the way the story was quite a bit different than how it was in the book. That being said, the movie was enjoyable, and we've watched them all now. But it's kind of, after you get to the third one, it's very much lather, rinse, repeat.
Man, with Bourne movies, I'm like Fast and Furious movies. I'm just like bowl of olive oil, loaf of fucking Italian bread. just give it to me. Give it to me.
The Fast
I'm-
and Furious movies are the worst, in my
I'm-
opinion. I
I'm
know
gonna
you.
say,
Yeah, they're god awful, but they're fun to watch.
That's what I'm saying. They're entertaining. They're fun. I'm here for it, bro.
It's like Tiara.
Anything
She
for
loves
them.
watching Nicolas Cage movies
Ugh.
because
I
they're
love
so
Nicolas
bad.
Cage movies.
Oh yeah, because they're great. I mean, because they're so
fucking
hilariously
horrible.
bad.
Yeah. Next. That fucking
Dude,
Nicolas
Con,
Cage movie.
Con Air, his fucking southern, my dearest precious Alicia,
Yeah.
I will be home to you shortly.
Oh, now, real quick. Oh God, no.
Dave Chappelle was in that. It was a great fucking movie.
Shoot.
So while Dean gathers his thoughts, for those of you who might listen and watch regularly, something we're planning for the future. I'm gonna put this out there. For future homework, you guys should watch Toxic Avenger. I believe we're going to have a guest
1982?
on. Yeah, we're gonna have a guest on. I just got to really schedule it with him, who is very tightly affiliated and works for Troma as a director and assistant director for them.
Nice.
But I bring it up because it is available for free on YouTube right now.
Right on.
Usually it's only on one of those like those horror streaming services, but it is such a great watch. It is the campiest of movies you can watch.
Confirm.
But before I forget that, that's why I wanted to bring that out there. And for our loyal listeners, please watch. To be fair, please watch Toxic Avenger for I don't know, just so you have some reference for future and a future episode that's coming out for sure. It's going to be a good one. We're going to have a very famous podcaster, comedian, director on. It's going to be a good time.
So I've got two things to recommend. So the one, Nobody.
Nobody.
Oh, that's
Max.
Bob Odenkirk.
Better Call Saul.
Yes,
Bob Odenkirk.
Which is officially, god dang it, part of the John Wick universe.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes, that makes sense. Especially like the action in the movie and like the story.
The way they shoot the fight scenes, where there are no Keanu, from what they say, is the best at it. He's gone through, I think they said 47 different motions with no cuts.
Oh, in one fight scene? Nice.
Yeah. Which is
he's
unheard of.
Yeah, he fucking trained how to shoot over at Terran Tactical, which is
dude, he trains his ass off.
Like this is like the shooting range out in California where like all like the either professional like people who race, like shoot race, they do gun races, they train there. And all the celebrities, like he went through the gauntlet in that motherfucker.
Yeah, he did.
But that's awesome because I watched Nobody, I think it was about 2-3 weeks ago, because like I watch YouTube a lot because of my ADD, and like clips from that popped up, and I was like, how the fuck did I never hear about this movie? And holy shit, it's on HBO or something like that. It's on one of the major streaming services, so definitely fucking check that out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's and long story short, same thing as fucking John Wick. Dude's in retirement, shouldn't fuck with him. Somebody fucked with him, and a great movie ensues.
Yeah.
Oh, who was this?
Better storyline.
Isn't fucking like Christopher Lloyd his dad or some shit? It's fucking like
and RZA is in it.
Yes, RZA's like one of his homies.
Yep.
I love that. I love that shit. Now it makes so much more sense with it that it's like tied with John Wick, like the whole old school radio thing. Like I'm not gonna spoil that. Like there's certain things I won't spoil. That movie, especially because it's like new to me. I think it only came out about a year or two ago. It's probably just something that underrated, probably got pushed under the carpet. Not a lot of people knew about it, but God,
so highly recommend. Highly recommend. Along with, which has been is now, they think they just had their third season, or was it second season? I can't remember now. I think it was second. Ted Lasso. If you haven't watched Ted Lasso, fucking watch it. It's on Apple TV.
I feel like no, that's why I heard about it. Okay.
So, and I don't know if they're still doing it. If you're on T-Mobile, if you have one of their Max or Magenta, one of their Magenta programs, if you're signed up for one of their Magenta programs, I think it is, you can get Apple TV for free for a year.
Huh?
Which is why I got it. So
I don't know what the Magenta program is, but I do have T-Mobile, so
there you go. Yeah, there's a military Max too, by the way.
I think you're like the second person to mention Ted Lasso in the past.
It is so fucking good. It is really.
What's it about again?
American college football coach, played by Jason Sudeikis.
You already lost me.
Who took his his secondary ranked college from complete losers forever to the championships in like 1 or 2 seasons. He has then been hired by this soccer team in London to be their coach. And so it's you see so many coaching stories, which everybody's like hard on everybody. The coach is just a badass. I mean, this guy is like, he makes you believe in yourself, and he's like, and so he's always got some form of coaching wisdom always that he's working with people, and but then it gets into his mental health, because at the same time he's going through a divorce there's stuff that's happening to it, but it's all the tropes that you would normally see in a show like this. The 2 leading women in the show, you would see them generally, one is younger, one is older. You would see them at each other all the time. They become best friends like in the first couple of episodes. So you don't see those old tropes that you see so often in shows. It just breaks all those and does it brilliantly. So if you haven't watched Ted Lasso, trust me, you will love it.
Did you ever see Brockmire?
I did not. I've heard about it. I know what's his name does the voices on Simpsons.
Yeah, Hank Azaria.
Yeah, Hank Azaria. Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that. Well, it was like, but except he's not a coach, he's a baseball announcer.
Yeah.
Where like he had a breakdown and then just like got dropped down in the minor leagues kind of thing, and then he's just dealing with all the other craziness in between there.
Yeah, a lot of cool. Fish out of water stories. Yeah, Barry also very much like that. If you have
I wonder if they're going to bring that back.
Yeah, it's coming. I understand that it's coming back. Yeah.
Oh, fucking Bear. I forgot about that.
Because oh god, what's his name? John
Hader. Bill Hader.
Bill Hader. Yeah,
Bill
not
Hader.
John Hader. That's Napoleon
Dynamite.
and Henry Winkler.
Yeah, Henry Winkler, the Fonz as an acting coach.
Yeah,
acting teacher.
And the guy who plays the Chechen. The bald guy.
Oh yeah, he's
so funny.
He was in the Batman
Gotham.
show.
He was in Gotham. Yes, yes, he played the fucking assassin dude in Gotham. I love him in that show. Betty, please, you should come sit down. Watch. We have showtime.
And I think he's actually American.
I wouldn't be surprised, but he fucking plays
I met him at a Comic-Con in Grand Rapids, Michigan Comic-Con a couple of years ago. He was the absolute nicest. It was like right when Gotham like kind of started, so no one like was up in his fan line.
He's so
yet.
stoic in fucking Gotham. To see him be like such a goof on Barry, I fucking love his character.
He's more like that, and he's like in real life as Barry.
I wouldn't be surprised how natural he is. He does that.
So nice, naturally funny, and just like took pictures with me and shit for free. But he was a cool dude.
Yeah, I had a similar story with that with Stephen Amell before. Right, I mean, it was like first season of Green Arrow.
Yeah,
and hardly anybody watched Green Arrow initially
because it's on fucking CW.
Yeah, and nobody knew who Stephen Amell was. His line was dead empty, and everybody was feeling bad for him. But he's a super fucking nice guy, and very. Very positive about things, about and social justice conscious. He owns a vineyard out in eastern Washington as well, called Knock Point or Knocking
His
Point.
new show Heels is fucking awesome too.
Oh, I didn't know he was on a new show.
Yeah, he wrote and produced this show. He's
nice.
He plays a wrestler in like a small town, dude, and he's fucking really good. And he did wrestling spots for AEW. Like in the very beginning, he's like really good friends with Cody Rhodes. He's a massive wrestling fan. He's done a lot of shit with wrestling in the last, 8 years. So
his brother has a show on, I can't remember which streaming service. I think it might be Amazon.
He was in a movie
Upload
on Netflix with him. Yeah,
Upload, they were both
Uploads on Prime.
Yeah. So yeah, that's and that was a good one. Robbie Amell. But yeah, they did that show where they Robbie's got superpowers of some sort. And
so I think Steven does too in the show. I don't even remember what the fuck it was called.
I don't either.
It was a really good movie, actually.
It wasn't bad. I mean, for a basically B movie, it wasn't bad.
We're kind of going between movies and TV shows.
Yeah,
just random, but no, it's fine. And but random question, just because
Sure.
I've had this show keep popping up, and I miss it a lot. Do you guys ever watch the shows called Mr. Robot?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Rami Malek.
Yes,
And Christian Slater. In fact,
Christian Slater.
I think I have a Mr. Robot pop vinyl somewhere.
Nice.
The first
Like-
season was really good. I never watched it after that.
Second wasn't as strong. If I remember correctly, they were bringing up like some almost like Occupy Wall Street fucking
Mhm.
rhetoric in that fucking season as well. First season was super strong, especially that first episode. If I remember correctly, it was busting the hey, leave your comic books alone. Busting that pedophile in the coffee shop.
The
That was fucking great. But no, yeah, sorry. We were just we're just bringing up
Yeah,
random
we're on
shit. I was
top.
like,
That's
oh
good.
yeah.
oh,
I want to know if you guys had seen it. So sweet.
I loved
Yeah,
it. It was a great.
Dan, it is
great.
the second season gets a little silly, just kind of crazy, but it is still worth watching. I don't think they ever had a finale, did they?
I don't know. I think I watched part of the third season.
It was one of those shows that just dropped off. Another one that
Yeah.
did that to me was Last Man on Earth.
Never watched that one.
That was on Fox. It was right around the same time slot as Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I love that show. We've discussed that at
Same.
length here. Last Man on Earth was MacGruber.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Former
literally.
SNL guy.
Yeah, he literally wakes up to find out he's the last man on Earth, and ends up typical Last Man on Earth story where he starts finding out he's not the only one around.
Hmm.
But it's a seriously goofy comedy show.
Will
it's-
Forte. So
Will
that's
Forte.
that'd be another reason, though. Speaking of MacGruber, I believe that's also only on Apple TV. They they have a series now.
Yeah, I heard that they were bringing that back, and I was like, really?
Yeah, I think in
Well, I
there.
know that they made a new Magruder's. Not Magruder.
The
MacGyver?
movie was
MacGyver?
hilariously
MacGyver.
Yeah.
retarded, and
The
I
movie
love
was the movie
love
was
one of my favorites.
so dumb. I
So
could-
bad. It's so
another
bad,
one.
it's Great.
Olive oil, extra olives in that one, and give me the Italian bread because I'm gonna soak that shit up. MacGruber was, I'm gonna shoot. Fucking Maya Rudolph plays his dead wife. I mean, it's Steven Seagal plays the antagonist, and his name is Cunth. Yeah, Cunth. It's so good. Right? Wait. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't Steven Seagal. It was Val Kilmer. Right? Yeah. Sorry.
Those
sorry.
are two way completely
Yep,
different.
sorry.
Way
No,
different
no.
people.
Yeah, but it was
I
like,
got really excited about it. And I
but it was
like,
Val.
when he said it, I'm like, fuck, did I watch the wrong
No,
one?
no. It was Val Kilmer very much playing a Steven Seagal like
You're
character.
right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because if it had been Steven Seagal, he would have taken it way too fucking seriously.
Right, yeah.
And somebody
No,
would have
no.
gotten hurt.
this was when Val Kilmer started putting on the pounds.
Yeah, yeah. Val's
before-
not doing so well.
Before, yeah, I was gonna say before he got really sick.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into some podcasts and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Dean is the podcast man. For those of you who don't know, Dean produces how many podcasts?
Well, I have 5 that are part of my network, 4 that I produce myself.
Well, and
one
I
is-
guess in this breath as well, might as well just turn it into plugs. Dean, what you got to
Yeah.
plug?
So, Podskier Podcast Network is the name of the podcast network that I run. Started
And,
off with
Dean,
started off with Podskier. Yeah, go
We're
ahead.
always looking for a network, by the way.
Oh.
We don't have a home, just so you know. Just saying.
I
You have lots of friends
remember.
with networks, though. Huh? It's kind of weird.
So started off with Podskier, me and my buddy Don, just talking to random podcasters about why they do podcasting, what got them into podcasting, and what makes them tick. And so then from there, when Letterkenny first hit Hulu, that's when we decided to start doing How Are You Now? Because there was at that
Good
time
and
there
you?
was only one other Letterkenny podcast. And it was out of Canada, but the guy who did it was kind of irregular about putting out episodes.
Shout out to the produce stand.
Well, Produce Stand. No, Produce Stand.
Or was that
came
afterwards? There's some
Yeah.
before?
So yeah, So the first one was, I think it was just called the Letterkenny Podcast. Then there was How Are You Now, and then Produce Stand came after us, and they just finished their season 10 like we did, but they finished I think a week before us. So, but yeah, and Al was on our Al, the guy who's the main host on there, was on our closing our finale episode, which we recorded yesterday. Al, great guy. Yeah. So Produce Stand. And then from there we did the Boondocks podcast, which is still going on. We're going to do season 4 from the Boondocks starting next month, I think sometime.
Is that the anime show?
No,
Boondocks was a African American comic based. It was a comic. If I remember correctly, it was like it was in the Daily News. It was like a newspaper comic that got turned into an animated series.
It was a newspaper comic, and then they got picked up initially by Sony, and then Sony dropped them, and then they went to Adult Swim.
Okay. It was a literal comic strip where they would like to talk about like basic African American issues, but in a very funny way. It was a great fucking comic.
Yeah, Aaron Magruder was a professor of African American studies at University of Maryland, but he ended up writing this comic strip, which is in the story in the comic strip and the TV show is about this grandfather and 2 grandsons who moved to this little very exclusive town called shoot, I can't remember where they are.
Don't matter.
Yeah. Anyway, they so it's this very, very white, very wealthy suburb because when the boys' parents died, I think they got some big inheritance. So he moves them from the south side of Chicago to this very nice Woodcrest. Woodcrest is what it's called.
Woodcrest.
Yeah. So it's their experience of being very inner city, very urban growth. Black folks
like hanging out, having to hang out, like being very urban, but having to hang out in very suburban malls.
Yeah,
like there's some and I think that the 2 boys are they both voiced by Regina King? Yeah, they're both it's like 2 boys and their grandfather, played by John Witherspoon, right? Mm-hmm. Which is the dad from Friday. Yeah, Pops. Yeah, you know what's up. Or Wayans brothers.
Yeah.
And like I love the way she fucking does their voices, man. Like the show is really dope, and you should really watch some of it.
It's on HBO.
Fucking hilarious. Like
I'll check it out.
my favorite. I'm sorry, Dean. Did you?
No, that's all right. No, I just had So I just had one more show to plug, which was Disputed.
Well, no, but about Boondocks, there's like there's a whole scene where the younger brother writes a Christmas letter to Santa because he was expecting to see Santa at the mall, and like he wants to get up close and personal with Santa, and the letter starts off with him calling Santa a bitch ass nigga. Okay. This came out on Cartoon Network.
Yep.
Like, dear Santa, you is a bitch ass nigga. Like I'm not even gonna ruin anything else. Like it is.
And he's got it in for Santa because Santa did not give him 22-inch rims. That's it.
You're gonna pay. Like,
you're gonna pay what you owe.
Oh, yes. I'm trying.
So yeah, and the older brother, his name is Huey, and he's named after Huey P. Newton, so the leader of the Black Panther Party. So that's so he's very militant. He's got
Huey
this big afro,
is little flat top afro,
and he's smart,
hardcore fight the power. Like it is a very intelligent, and well-written show.
Now, season 4, which we're about to do, Aaron Magruder, the guy who created the show, created the comic, the whole thing, was fired from comedy from the Cartoon Network at that point in time. So the final season was written by other people, so it's not seen very favorably. But
I don't remember.
Still gonna power through it. Now they were supposed to do a reboot on HBO. That has now been canceled, unfortunately. Yeah. So, because they had Aaron Magruder back and everything.
Talking about this kind of makes me want to start a Metalocalypse podcast. Because I think Dan and I would do that pretty well.
I'd have to know what the
Nobody's
fuck you're
nerfing.
talking about first.
Metalocalypse. Oh,
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
oh,
yeah.
Dan. Oh, Dan. Especially because Dan likes metal. Dan's favorite band's Five Finger Dick Licks. I mean, Death Punch. I mean, Death Punch.
Ben Sevenfold, then Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Metalocalypse is great.
Metalocalypse. All right, just get real quick synopsis is how would you compare
Black metal group has become the 6th largest economy in the world, just past Belgium.
like like imagine if like it's about a death metal band that's as popular as Pepsi and has as much power, like they have shows, they host shows where
they live on a hovercraft floating in the sky.
yeah, they have shows that result in thousands and thousands of deaths, but they still continue to have shows and people
that
show up
come to
in droves.
people come to the show, they have to sign waivers.
Yeah, like it is, and it's hilarious. I want to be Bill Cosby's. Like
Okay,
it is.
so it is on Hulu, HBO Max is what I'm looking it up. I'm gonna.
Dan, do you remember the
gonna
old
focus
cartoon
on
on Cartoon Network Adult Swim called Home Movies?
No,
Hold on,
I
a
know
second.
Robot
I
Chicken.
gotta yell at somebody.
Home Movies and Metalocalypse were both created and written by Brendan Smalls. And now Brendan Smalls is also a very, very excellent guitar player and loves metal. So he created Metalocalypse, which is about this black metal band who the guys who are in it are just morons. But
is it kind of like This Is Spinal Tap, but in a animated show?
In a way, yeah. But they're very popular, unlike Spinal Tap.
Yeah. These people are selling out
Let's
mega
go to
arenas,
11.
which they had to like literally invent mega arenas just for metal for Death Clock. Death Clock is the name of the band.
Death Clock is the name of the band. Yeah.
The show is called Metalocalypse.
So the members of the band, the lead singer Nathan Explosion. The rhythm guitar player is Toki Wartooth. The lead guitar player is Squizgar Squealf. The bass player is Murderface, and the drummer, his name is Pickles. So
Nice. It's a good name for a drummer.
Did you just pull that up? I'm like, you definitely did not pull that off the top of your head.
I did. In
Did
fact,
you? Nice. Nice. I did not know Dean was a Metalocalypse. No way. He's gonna pull that out of the back. Literally pull that out of the
I'm Face Bones.
That's their logo. That's their that character introduces all their shows.
Okay, so I will start watching that show starting tomorrow.
Yeah,
As soon as I get home from work, I will start watching. What was
Did
that?
you ever watch Venture Brothers?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't listen to a lot of. I don't
Go
like
Venture.
if it's like a cartoon show.
It
I don't
is.
really watch cartoons.
Yeah,
Like it's not
Dean-
nothing
Dean-
against them.
These are very adult cartoons.
Dean,
Right.
yeah, no, but hold on, Dean. Dan
Yeah.
broke my heart a week or two ago by telling me he would never found South Park funny at all.
Yeah, I don't. I hate South Park.
Initially, I did. I watched it from the very beginning. Probably the first. 6 seasons,
Me too.
but I haven't watched in a while. So
I thought the first couple seasons of Family Guy were funnier. That's just me.
Family Guy was okay. I enjoyed
No,
Family Guy.
not anything recent. Anything after it got
The Orville's
canceled.
good though. If you like Seth MacFarlane.
Futurama. I watch Futurama. I love Futurama.
All right, we're off track. Dean,
Last
what was
show.
the
Last
last podcast you wanted to promote?
Disputed. So and now Disputed. And I tried to get you on before, and we're going to be starting that up again in March.
It's just conflicting timing issues. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll get you in there. But so basically, what we do is, and the way we're structuring the show going forward is, we're doing bracketed tournaments against fictional character versus fictional character in a particular style. So, as an example, we're about to do Scrappers. So I've got Wayne from Letterkenny. I've got Jack Reacher. I've got John Wick. What's her name? From Atomic Blonde.
Oh Jesus!
I know who you're talking about. I can't think
Charlize
of
Theron.
Like I know who
Charlize Theron. Yeah, I can't remember her name.
So we've got a so we're gonna bracket out 16 different scraps, and so or 16 people to scrap. So it'll be 8 fights, and then 4, then 2. So we're doing a tournament. So it'll be like, Wayne versus Reacher, and then John Wick versus Atomic Blonde, and so whoever
Lorraine
Broughton.
Yeah, there.
Wayne Broughton. There we go. So yeah, so that's how it's going to work. And
So scrapping, as in no weapons.
what's that?
So scrapping would mean no weapons.
It's fighting. Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
brawl. Okay.
I mean, I suppose there could be guns, but I'm probably going to eliminate guns because there are some that don't.
You
Now,
want a
Jack-
proper Donnybrook. Gotcha.
So yeah, so like I mean, Jack Reacher, I could throw guns at him. He's really known for beating the shit out of somebody, but he is also an excellent sniper. So
I mean, same with John Wick. John Wick's not necessarily known for. I mean, like the second movie with the knife scene and shit, but like he's not known for his hand-to-hand combat necessarily.
yeah,
I mean,
they
I'm
refer
gonna
to it as
disagree.
gun fu.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree. I feel like that's like one of the highlights of that whole series is
He just finished
Kung Fu.
He's
Or
like, bam, pop.
You're right.
Oh,
It's
shit,
a lot
what
of
was the
hitting,
word
but
they
it's
used
always
in
a shot. It's or a knife or something. He doesn't.
What was? Hold on. All right, I'm gonna bust this one out. See who gets this one. What was the phrase they used in Equilibrium? There was like a kung fu with guns. You guys never saw Equilibrium? Don't tell me you never saw Equilibrium.
I've never heard of it.
Never even heard.
Oh, you know why? Oh, god damn it, we're all over the place today. It's because it can't. I've watched a documentary or a little short doc about how like it fell into the cracks because it came out the same year as Matrix, and it was the same thing where it's like slow motion with the fucking guns and shit like that. Oh man.
But anyway, so we live
Sorry.
like this. We live stream Disputed, but at the end we have a vote. We put it out to vote for who everybody thinks won. So whoever wins will then move on to the next round, and we live stream it. So
They called it the Kata. That's what it was.
Ah.
But yeah, it was that was actually a Christian Bale movie. It was like
Oh.
Christian Bale, Emily Watson, Taye Diggs. Yeah, this was definitely huge for 2001.
We're also including Johnny Lawrence in it. So I don't know if you've been watching Cobra Kai or not, but Actually,
I have to catch up on my Cobra Kai.
it's
I don't
good.
mind it. I don't mind it.
It's
I
really-
tried watching season 1. I made it through like 5 episodes and couldn't do it.
It's
Oh, man, I
super
really
corny. It's the same.
yeah.
I find it corny same way Peacemaker was corny, where they're doing it for like they're poking at it on purpose.
Oh, right.
I get it. I don't know. Dan, podcasts this week.
This week, dude, I know I've been doing Time Suck lately with Dan Cummins.
Yes, you really
but
have.
I have
You've
been
brought it up the
throwing
last
down.
3 episodes, and I have
I
not
know,
watched one yet.
But actually, I went and watched an old episode of our buddy Corey Castles and listened to Evolving with Corey Castle.
Shout out
I'm not gonna
Evolving.
lie. Unfortunately, I cannot remember his guest. And it was one that he didn't normally, when he puts it out, he sends it to me, sends me the link. And it's
I
when
don't
he
get
didn't
links.
send me
Look
the
at
link
you,
to.
Mr. Fancy. Okay.
And I listened
So
to it.
I'm looking right now. He had in Drew from a show, something called Satsang, or was it Matthew Omen or Harry Boyer?
I think it was Matthew. I have to
Yeah.
look.
I
at
mean,
the-
he I know I watch or listen to all my podcasts on Stitcher, and unfortunately they can be a little behind. And I know for a fact Corey Castle's shows are like maybe like a week or 2 behind on the releasing on
Yeah.
Stitcher. So I don't know. But yeah, Corey Castle's the fucking man. Anything he puts out, I'll listen to.
Yeah, Corey Castle's the shit. He's again one of our really good friends we met through podcasting. So
Dean, I think we should find a way to link you with Corey. He's a professional wrestler. He's a comedian. He's quite the character. Yeah. And he's a fucking great guy.
oh yeah, and I did want to say, being that we're talking about wrestling,
Bring it up.
the 5th podcast on our network is Armbar Audio, which is the 2 great guys, Tim and John, who cover indie wrestling. They're huge indie wrestling fans. So all parts of
I
indie
would
wrestling.
love to be a guest on that.
Yeah,
by the way.
Armbar Audio. They are super nice guys.
Dean, if anybody I know next to my little brother besides him, fucking Dan here knows everything about the wrestling. He's a good man. Yeah. You want him on the wrestling podcast. Yeah.
But, just to interrupt, because I haven't told Renee yet, there's a midget. I'm deathly afraid of midgets. but there's a midget wrestling.
He has tickets for Brad Williams coming up, Dean.
I don't know what that is.
Brad Williams is a midget comedian.
A midget comedian. I have front row tickets to one of his shows coming up. But there's a midget wrestling promotion coming to town, to my town. My town's small, to our fair, and I'm gonna fucking go. Like, I'm not excited, but I'm excited. I cannot kind of wait. I mean, I can because I'm again definitely afraid of midgets. It's a weird ass phobia, but we're trying to work through it. I've been watching a lot
Have you tweeted at him to tell him you're coming?
Fuck no. And I won't. And I won't with Brad Williams either. I've been trying to watch a lot of YouTube videos with midgets in it, so I kind of like normalize myself.
By the way, Dean, welcome to the show. This is,
and like
I'm pretty sure there's a good section on Pornhub for that too.
I've been watching a lot of midgets on
that's Brad
TikTok
Williams right there.
And like trying to follow more midgets on TikTok because, like, again, dude, they're just they're gonna bite your kneecaps and shit. Like, I don't know. Like,
Dean, we had this conversation about a month or so ago on the show. Being someone who does open mic comedy, being a huge comedy fan, I've heard a lot of aspects about this. I've heard a lot of controversy or explanations as to the rationale of this fear. And like, I don't even want to repeat the other one that I heard, but the one that I heard from Dan was one of my favorites, that he's genuinely afraid that because this person is a midget or a little person, they might jump off the stage and bite him in the kneecap. That's his fear. And change you?
In your lap, like
change you? Was that? Did you say and make you a midget as well?
Yeah, make you a midget.
Yeah. He thinks that's all right. I didn't want. I thought that's what I remembered, but I didn't want to just throw it out there. He's afraid that he's going to catch the midge.
Yeah, and then that's why you never get a lap dance from a midget stripper, because she'll jump off the stage and bite you in the face,
and then he becomes a midget
too. And it's like,
well, then you can be married to the midget stripper.
You know, like fucking. Dean, I don't want to become a leprechaun, okay?
Dean, this is, and it's even funnier is that like, you see, like I'm like Dan was hitting his fucking vape throughout the whole show, but now as we're talking about this, he's taking a drag. Every 10 seconds. I really want it. This is how I know it's a rational fear.
I think it probably comes because of the Child's Play movies.
Child's Play and Leprechaun. I totally believed in all of those, and I saw them way too young. But
also, there was an episode of fucking Mork and Mindy that fucked me up.
Fucking WrestleMania 3. That's exactly where it got me. King Kong Bundy and Hillbilly Jim.
Oh, I was going to say, Dink did not come out that early.
No. And they had 3 little midgets on their team in this match, and they fucking, like, they bit them in the knees and shit. Like I'm not shitting you. Like, watch that. It's a WrestleMania 3 match. It's on Peacock. You can watch it. I used to,
Look at it. See, that's real. That's real. Ladies and gentlemen. Look at Dan going through the motions right now.
His testicles have crawled back into his body.
Dude, like they bite your soul.
I don't want to be a midget. You know?
I'd rather meet up with like fucking what's the fucking dude from
Game of Thrones?
No. Hold on. Not Lucifer. What's the dude in the Dean Brothers show?
Dean Brothers.
They kill demons and shit.
Oh, Supernatural?
Supernatural. What's the devil guy that's in that show? Moxley or something like that?
Oh, no, you're Crowley.
Crosby, yeah, or whatever.
Crowley.
Yeah. Fuck that dude. All right, like, I'd rather meet that
Mark
dude
Shepard
than fucking run into a midget. All right? Like, for real. Like, fuck, I hate midgets.
Jesus. Hope Brad Williams never watches this episode.
We won't.
You never know, dude. You never know.
But no, and I'm sorry. I know midgets derogatory, little people, ankle biters, whatever you want to call them.
That's
But,
like
Excuse
no,
me.
I'm
That's
just
what I
kidding.
call chihuahuas.
That's like that John
Right.
Mulaney bit where he was talking about when he was working at SNL writing, I think, and he was talking about writing something about midgets, and one of the other writers says, "You can't." Or one of the editors from the network came down and says, "You can't write that. It's like saying the N word." And he goes like, "No," and I can tell you why, because
We're both
one of
saying
the
the
we're
word
not
midget.
saying one of the words we're not saying. If one of the words you can't say, then that word is the worst word.
So, Brad actually has a very similar joke where he goes that like he actually showed up to one of his shows and they were protesting. A bunch of little people were outside protesting,
Did he go
and
walk
like
with
he
him?
like try to just be civil and approach them and be like, "Hey, what's your fucking problem?" And they're like, "Well, you know, we don't like the fact that you use the M word." And he's like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, you know, like using the M word is just as strong as using the N word." And Brad looks that little M word in the face and said, "Midget, please."
Tiara is now taking to calling me Manila. So
What's up, Manila? All right,
Exactly.
all right. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
that's
Tiara
the,
can get away with that too. I like that.
well, that's that is the word white people can say now. Nilla.
Yo, Manila, can you get me some water?
So
Yo,
you
good
have-
looking,
white
Manila.
folks, we have
Hey,
our own word
crack-ass
now.
cracker,
You don't have to worry
go
about
get me
trying to
another
say
beer.
the N word anymore.
Yeah. As Dan speaks to his lovely significant
I was
other.
just kidding, babe.
Calling her cracking
She
ass
was
cracker.
kidding not to go.
She's about to throw that can of beer in the side of your face. Would have been hilarious.
No, she was
Um,
about to go get me a beer. Like
No,
she's,
no.
she's way nicer than that.
Oh, damn it. She's way too nice. I think my podcasts this week fucking I know I say fucking way too much. Fucking Chip
Oh, fuck.
Chipperson, as always. The same way Dan sticks to his shit, I stick to my shit. Chip had Natalie Cuomo and one of my favorite crank yankers, Jim Florentine. Because yay!
In your pool.
I got mail. I got mail. I got mail. Yay! Literally, that was my ringtone from like 18 to 20 years old. I'm an idiot and I'm such a sucker. Like I say that. Like I will self-admit so openly, I am a sucker for basic bitch humor, basic bitch movies. Like, I mean, granted, it has to be in my wheelhouse. Like I said, I like what I like. I like dumb humor. I like big booms. I like fast cars. I like big boobies.
I like big bucks, and I cannot lie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was a great freaking episode. It was hilarious. Anything else? I'm trying.
I'm going to throw in one real good recommendation.
Fucking sender, bud.
If you like to just laugh and have and listen to trivia, two guys, Cole and Kevin, run Super Fun Time Trivia. They're out of North Bay, Ontario. Super funny guys, and they do a trivia show out of a bar, and they're hilarious. So I highly recommend if you.
So is it like they're doing like a?
They're
Are
doing
they
pub
hosting?
trivia. Yeah,
They're
they host
hosting a
trivia.
pub trivia thing while doing a podcast at the same time.
Yeah, they record it and then put it out.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And they've got hundreds of episodes out. So
Wow, that sounds like
lots of backlog to check out, but they're really funny. I love those guys.
Other great episode. Mark Maron was on Tiger Belly this week, which was great.
I love Mark Maron.
I really love Mark Maron. He does not do a lot of shows, so I'm guessing he's probably going on a fucking round of shows if he did Bobby's show, Tiger Belly today. Or what was that? Nope, excuse me. That was 5 days ago. What am I talking about?
I identify with Mark Maron quite a bit. I'm very much like
Yeah.
him.
Same. I'm inside an old Jewish man as well. No, just we all have that. He has that East Coast like shut the fuck up, you're retarded energy. And I embrace that almost on a daily basis. That was great. Unfortunately, Loud Boys is never coming back. How are you now? That was a great episode. I did listen to it. I'm sorry. I'm literally just sitting in
Our-
front of my freaking
our-
podcast app, looking at
Our
everybody
last
that I
episode,
listen to. I'm like,
the recap episode or the Sundays are for picking stones.
Sundays are for picking stones. Not the recap. I haven't
Yeah.
heard the recap one.
Connie
Yep.
McMurphy.
Son of a bitch. I like he teased that one before we even started recording, folks, and he waited till now. I love him. An hour 40.
I got so many in here.
Dude, you've got about 3 more minutes to drop as many more as you want. That was great. Legion of Skanks was also fucking great. They're doing the woke turn Olympics. They usually do the intern Olympics, but now they're like on this thing where they're only going to hire a minority or a gay or a trans person. It's a stupid fucking bit, but it's got me giggling hardcore to the core. And I guess that's it for podcast. Your mom's house has been that's right. Your mom's house this week was fucking great. I almost forgot about it. Your mom's house with Tom Segura and Christina P. this week had Charo and her sister Blanca, which is Tom Segura's mom and aunt. And they pulled no stops. Like one of the best things I love about that show is when you hear the boys in the producer booth just can't help but laugh like gutturally. You hear them like it's not even on mic. You hear them through Tom or whatever guest's mic. You hear them just laughing so hard. And Charo, which is Tom's mom, was being the most savage she's ever been. And like in person, like there's stories about Charo being like, listen, if you want to take advantage of me, you have to buy me a purse. You have to send me to Las Vegas. You have to give me $1,000 for spending monies. Like it's fucking great, like the stories. But she was being such a lunatic on the show this week that Tom stopped and was like, hey, you guys see where I come from, right? Like you guys see this, right? This is now happening live on camera.
Right.
Like, I don't make up the shit that I tell about this fucking lunatic that raised me.
Yeah,
Which is-
it was a great episode, and then the very
It hit home because my mom's a lunatic, by the way, and like I'm just like, oh, I wish I had that moment. And it's possible she might watch this, but like, yes, mom, you're a lunatic.
At the very end of the episode, so Tom's dad just passed away.
Did I bring it up
and-
beforehand or no?
No. Well, I mean,
I actually
talked
meant to
about it,
warn
like,
you about that. I meant to
couple
warn
weeks.
you about that. Dean, just so you know, Dan's father passed away very suddenly about a month and a half ago.
No, it's like back in July. Yeah, it just
about-
it does
so it was
feel
like-
a month ago.
So Dan's dad passed away yesterday, and so he's really sensitive about it. But Tom Segura's dad passed away very randomly within kind of the same circumstances, very suddenly. And actually,
hearing Barrow talk about it, man.
I totally meant to text you like beforehand, like a warning, like a hey, just so you know.
How did you what happened?
My dad died of a heart attack randomly. Like he wasn't sick or anything like that. He just had a physical, like a full on everything physical. Everything was fine, and then heart attack. Like he had cholesterol, it was great. Like there was no reason for it.
He probably had the same thing that I did that got found. Fortunately, and the same thing that actually Kevin Smith survived.
Widowmaker?
The Widowmaker. I had a.
Is that what that was?
Yeah,
Dean?
my LAD, left anterior descending artery, was blocked about 95%.
Yeah.
And my labs were all fine. When they brought me in there, they thought, well, maybe you just have really bad indigestion. They gave me, real.
Yeah, Dan. I don't think I ever told Dan. I don't tell anybody that kind of private shit. But Dean
I did it on TikTok even. So
had a very shift in personality since I've met him originally, and I found out it was because he got sick for a while. I didn't know. I don't think I remember you telling me that they identified what it was.
Yeah. I did have a couple of tight chest moments, and I told my doctor about it. They last 5-10 minutes at the most. And she goes, well, if it ever goes more than 15 minutes, I want you to go to the ER. And so one morning I got up and I was having it, and it didn't go away. It was there for 30 minutes. So we got an Uber, ran over to the ER, and yeah, they did all these, they ran blood tests, couldn't find anything until they put me on the treadmill and did the stress test. And then it just started, it happened again. And they did the ultrasound, and they said, oh yeah, I can see it now. You have a blockage. And so they ran a stent all the way up through here into my heart, blew up the stent in there. And now I've lost since then, I've lost 40 pounds. Now that
I was going to mention you do look fucking svelte, bro.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, now I'm just as heavy as Jack Reacher. So, but 4 inches shorter. So
oh shit, you are taller. That was,
but
it was very sad to watch you both go through that. I mean, I've lost friends and shit like that, but like I've known Dan for 12, 11 years, some shit like that now. Dean, we're going on about 2 years now. And as someone as much as we interacted because of the shows, we did so many fucking podcasts, even though we've never met in person. Like you have that connection with people, especially it was during the fucking pandemic. Yeah. You're one of the fucking few people I spoke to. And even if it was like once every 2 or 3 months, it was like, holy shit, it's a regular person. That was really fucking tough. I interrupted either Dan or you.
Oh no, I'm just, that's a very, I'm assuming that's probably what happened to your
bringing up we were bringing up Top Dog's death. That's where we were. Dan, I literally wanted, because I listened to shit in the car while I'm driving around working. So I meant to call you and kind of give you like a warning, like, hey, I have a feeling that those last 5 minutes of fucking your mom's house might fuck you up a little bit. And I'm guessing it did.
Oh yeah, and it did, and I turned it off when she started getting into it. I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't really.
It's all good, dude.
Apologize, but you know what I mean. Like, shit.
Condolences to you, though.
Yeah, I definitely remember hearing that segment and being like, oh fuck, I should probably give him a heads up to fucking just be ready for those last. I think it's like 8 minutes. Did you listen to it at all? Did you finish it or no?
No.
So ultimately, it was Charo, which is Tom Segura's mom, the wife of Top Dog, Tom Segura's dad, who passed away very tragically and suddenly, saying a thank you, just saying that, like, the only reason she did the episode was because she knew he would want her to, and that, like, in the end, she loves all the love that they both have gotten from the fans over the years of just silly behavior, man, silly antics, silly clips being put out there. So I don't want you feeling like, you missed anything huge. And I'm trying to find something to fucking wrap up on here. Dean, anything else you want to put out there? When do you think we'll get Shoresy? I mean, obviously we're definitely not going to get Letterkenny until Christmas.
No, we got probably in the next couple of weeks we're going to have the holiday episode of Letterkenny coming out, which is International Women's Day. It's coming out on Crave TV on the 8th. We have not had an announcement from Hulu yet. So we don't know that's coming out. We're expecting that probably in April is when Shoresy's going to drop. And then what should happen as far as season 11, because season 11's already been shot. They shot 10 and 11 at the same time.
Nice.
So 11's in the can, has been. And so my guess is they're going back to the regular schedule of Christmas and Canada Day, which is also Jared Kiso's birthday.
Oh, God.
And then we get it on the 4th, I think.
I can't fucking wait. What we're gonna do tonight, we're gonna wrap up on this little clip. It is, I guess, technically copyrighted, but I don't think anybody's gonna come
Here
after
comes
it.
algorithm face.
Yeah. There we go. God damn it, Dan! Why don't we have this technology?
Because no, they just want to put money into this yet.
Touche. To be fair,
To be fair.
Dean, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
This was great. This was a super smooth hour and 50-minute episode, almost unprecedented. Even though we did like the 35 minutes on Russia and Kiev, but whatever. Shit needs to be discussed by who needs to discuss it. Dan, you know what I'm gonna tell you, right?
I love you.
I love your fucking face so much, dude. And that's the one thing we ask of everybody every week. It's the most important thing is that you fucking tell somebody that you love them. You never know how long somebody's going to be around. You never know how short somebody's going to be around. Tomorrow is not promised. So that is the one thing we ask you every week, besides like, sharing, and subscribing, is tell somebody that you fucking love them. Please. I'm begging you. Dan's begging you. Dean just joined us, but he's begging you. Do yourself the favor. Do a friend the favor. Find somebody you love. Tell them that you love them. Male, female, plutonic, non-plutonic, mother, father, whatever the fuck it is. That
Agreed.
word can go a long fucking distance.
Yeah.
On that note, let's hear Mom Segura fart for about 4 seconds. Watch your face.
You got caught.
You're not my son anymore. Show it to me. Show it to me. We got a little too serious at the end there, so I have to end it on a fucking
Oh
fart.
yeah, and no, you're not wrong. And like we say, we do the same thing on Podskier. Me and Don, we end it with eat bacon, pet dogs, and give hugs. So
Oh, that's right. I think I've done one of those shows. Anyway. Anywho. Love you fuckers.
love
See you
too,
next
man.
week, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.